Bam Bam, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. We've been talking about your ride on all that stupid stuff that I talk about all the time. So, I know you're a big listener, Justin. I know you're a huge listener. So,
Oh yeah, I got the boombox out, popping the station hard.
yeah. Listen, it was a great ride, man, and I loved Adam Seen Cirillo on Twitter. Someone said, "What did you think about when Justin passed you? You know, sideways, legs off, and everything else." And Adam replied that he was on a poster. He was going to be on a poster. That's what he thought of.
What a guy,
Dude, that was a gnarly pass right there. That was awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like everyone was like after the race, like, what was that? And I was like, what are you talking about?
That's just Justin.
Yeah, that's kind of typical. Like you just never know what you're gonna get, and I don't know. I was like in that moment, and I was like just like on Eli's back wheel, and I was like needed to follow him, and I like just tossed that thing hard. That's a pretty wicked jump.
Yeah, no, cool. That was cool. Great ride, man. You damn it, if you took away that DNF last week in the mud, you'd be right there in the points. You're still right there. You're not that far off, but a strong start to the year for you.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, we've done a lot of work. You know, a lot of us at the Yamaha team and outside the Yamaha team. So it's been busy year, man. Kind of crazy. Lots of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a shame about that DNF. You know, could have avoided that, but unfortunately things happen, and that's just racing in general. So just look past that. I think, you know, me and Eli are kind of in a similar spot right now, and we both have a lot of points to make up, and you know, I honestly think we're going to see a lot more of that racing coming up, so I'm quite excited about it.
That was awesome. You were pushing hard. He was answering you. You guys were going at it. It was a great race, man. You after something like that, I mean, you guys have had your run-ins in the past. There's no secret, but after the race, you both congratulate each other. I thought that was really cool. I love to watch two guys just laying it out like that. That's cool.
Yeah, you know, we've for sure had our history, and at the end of the day, when you hang out there that much, give it absolutely everything you have to the last drop, it's you know, you just got to pat each other on the back and say good race.
Did you have a spot where you thought you could try for the last couple laps? Did you have the spot?
Oh man, honestly, it's kind of haunting me. I was like, what could I did different? And not to say the track was one line by any means, but we were in such a race groove. Like I had a few different lines, but I was just like so in the zone of like hitting the spots, and I really wish I would have switched it up and tried a few different things, because I still feel like I had some speed to where if I lost a little, I could have maybe gained it back. So, you know, I didn't really have a spot. I wish I would have searched around a little more, but at the end of the day, you know, that's racing, and we definitely put it on the line.
702-586 Pulp. You got a question for Monster Yamaha's Justin Barcia? Give us a call. 702-586-7857. Brought to you by the folks at Vortex Racing. Yeah, you had that one right-hander where you would swing out wide and you would cut across the inside hump almost of the.
Yep.
That was pretty sweet. You tried that a couple times in a row.
Yeah, I did think that was a good spot, but that you know, because on the sight lap I looked at those lines and I saw the inside was really deep and choppy, and I was like, I knew Eli was hammering it, and I was like, maybe it'll get worse through the race and I'll be able to slingshot this thing, but it never worked out.
This fucking Villapoto guy, of course, he's taking all the credit right now, Barcia, for this. He's unbelievable. But how much has he? You know, we knew Ryan Villapoto was testing for you guys. How much has this stuff helped?
Yeah, you got to give credit where it's due, and RV, you know, come on, man, he's a champ. He knows what he's doing. He's still fast. You know, he gave us a good setting to start with, and I set it up a little bit for my style, but all in all, you know, he put in some great work to help us out. So yeah, definitely give him some credit for sure.
He rides on the rear. He rides out of the rear wheel, you know, a lot. He doesn't ride like you. He doesn't rev it like you. So I don't know, but he's claiming he's the answer. So I just deal with it. If I don't don't tell him that he's great, then he won't come on the show ever again. So I just got to tell him like, yeah, it's all good, you know.
Yeah, he definitely helped us out for sure. And then you know, Brock came on and he did some testing and stuff like that, and got his set up. But we're really not that far apart on setups and stuff like that. And you know, we've put in a lot of work. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, man. We've done our time, and you know, it's time for us to shine a little bit. So I'm happy it's working out the way it's working out.
Yeah, obviously, look, your contract's up next year. There's lots of rumors about you in the pits, and you know, I could ask you about it, but you're not really in a position to comment right now. So we'll forget about that. Like, cause there's nothing you can confirm. Like your deal's up, right? But you're shopping, and who knows?
Yeah, for sure. There's not like I said, there's not much to say. A month ago I would have told you I don't know. I have no offers. I have absolutely nothing. It's like we're in the middle of COVID. The world's all messed up. When are we racing? Where are we racing? How are we racing? And then the last few weeks, it's really some opportunities have opened up, and it's definitely sitting back and honestly, I'm for sure right now the main focus is going after this championship. I have a shot at it still, and I'm going to give it my all and go for that. And, whatever works out, and the other stuff will work out. But, we'll see.
Thank God that the end of Salt Lake wasn't the end of the racing season for you, Bam Bam. Thank God.
Yeah, tell me about it. That was haunting me until motocross started.
I know, right?
JB, you guys obviously stayed at Ironman after the last round last year and tested, I believe, on Monday. How close are you to that setting, or how much do you think that affected your good result?
I'm guessing not.
I'm guessing not close at all now.
0? No. We always try to put in the effort however we can, and it was definitely a good idea. We did get to do a little testing, and unfortunately it started pouring, absolutely pouring, like just in the beginning of our day there. So we didn't really get to do that much, and it should have been a really good thing, but it was we didn't really learn it. I mean, you always learn something, I suppose, but it really didn't. No, it didn't really do anything.
Well, I feel like testing a year in advance, or however long. It was a year in advance because of the Marvin thing. Just riding styles in general. You probably ride a slightly bit different, so a setting might not work as good for you a year later as it did back then.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because someone was saying something today when I did the Zoom interview for motocross, and it was you guys always why can't you just use your setting from last year? And the way I kind of look at it, in car racing, you're strapped in, you can't move. You can use your old settings from the year before and you work on that. But in motocross or supercross, you change so much as a rider. Fitness, feel, you learn different stuff, you pick up good habits, bad habits, and you're always moving. So really, you can't always go off that old setting. You can start there, but you always end up somewhere else. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. A year out on testing, you can do development, but fine setting testing, I don't think so.
Listen, Bam Bam, I have a YZ450. It's an amazing bike, and I have an FMF exhaust and Renthal bars and works connection stuff. I just think you should do that. That's fine.
There you go. Yeah, you're dialed, bro.
I mean, W wheels. Everything seems all right. So,
Blue Crew.
Listen, Cade, you rode one. You liked it.
I rode a couple laps. I said it was fast.
It's fast. They're good bikes.
It's really fast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I agree that it's a great bike, and it wins all the shootouts and things like that. And then people see us going oh, we're struggling this and that, and it's very easy to make mistakes and lose a bike easily. So it is a great bike though. For sure, I agree with you.
More frustrating time for you, Bam. The Salt Lake City rounds or the end of the JGR Suzuki days? Which one had you more on suicide watch?
Definitely my JCR Suzuki.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I'm not bagging on anybody or nothing, but I almost retired. So
I know.
it was really not good.
Yeah. I admire your contract's up, we know. You don't know where you're going. You have this garbage Salt Lake for all the reasons. You're frustrated there, bike setup, riding, all this kind of stuff, not working out. And I think it's admirable that you were able to kind of put that in the rearview mirror, start riding outdoors, getting back into your groove. It's like the old Barcia's back. You're not letting this, you riders are so weird that something like that with your contract ending, you could have just thrown in the towel and been well, screw these guys, screw the bike. I'm riding my 9 races and we'll figure it out. But you did not do that. You probably rode your balls off. You tested a ton. And you're back, and you're winning a moto, and you're riding this weekend, and I think that's the tip of the visor for you to do that, man. I really do.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I appreciate it. It's, I don't know. For me, like, anytime I strap my helmet on, I'm going to give it everything I have. And it doesn't matter if it's a contract year, if my contract's up, if I already know I'm going to go do something else. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. I just feel like I just like racing, and I'm going to give it my all no matter what. And like, if I'm not comfortable on a bike or something and I give it my all and it's 10th place, I still give it my all. So at the end of the day, I can leave the race or the track and go, I did everything I could, and if it's first place or if it's last place, I know I tried my hardest. So yeah.
No, I agree, and sometimes that heart on your sleeve, that passion has got you into trouble. You've done some dumb things, as we all know, but it's also times like that where the second moto is there, and it's rough and it's fucking shitty, and Eli Tomac's there and he's gnarly, and you're just riding the heart on your sleeve. You're just gassing the shit out of your bike, trying to beat this dude, right? Like that's how you get with you. It's not always perfect, but yeah, exactly.
No, you're definitely correct. I've done some stupid stuff with, wearing my heart on my sleeve, as they say, and giving it my all and doing something stupid. But I think, I still, the last thing that I did that was kind of stupid was, when I, argued with Eli after, I think it was Atlanta, where we got into it a little.
Yep.
And, it wasn't that bad, really, but we were, yelling at each other, and people, kind of blew it out of proportion. And, that's things, now, as you grow up, you learn, just to kind of, let things go and just let it roll. So, yeah, but I don't really regret anything, maybe a few things. But all in all, you can't take things back, and you just got to learn from them. So I think all those things that I have done throughout my career, I get really misunderstood. I work with new people sometimes, and they think I'm a complete dick, and then I mean, even you could ask Cade, people will be like, man, this guy's a dick, just from what they see on TV or social media or whatever. But then, when you hang out with me in person, I'm actually pretty okay for the most part.
I actually tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
It's people ask me hey, who's your favorite guy, or who's that guy that's kind of an asshole? They're like, what about that Justin Barcia guy? And I'm like, Justin's actually pretty cool. He's always been super cool to me. He's fun to hang out with. He gets excited on the track, and then it's emotion. But I mean, I feel like everyone just shows their emotion. Sometimes you get it more than me, obviously, but I come off the track and yell at people all the time. You just actually get noticed. So, I mean,
well, thank you. I love the words. The kind words are nice, and it's just a misunderstanding. People just see and believe what they hear, and it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, for me, I just like to ride bicycles, ride my dirt bike, and have fun and have a laugh, man. That's what life's all about for us racers, or at least some of us.
Yeah, no, you've definitely matured over the years for sure. But I mean, you've also was it Welton? Did you help out Welton? Yeah, you helped out Welton for a while there. I know some guys that have been around you as mechanics, practice bike guys. I know people have gone to your house and have ridden and stayed there. You're always very generous with, helping out other dudes and letting them ride at your place and all. I mean, there's a lot of stories under the radar about that kind of stuff where they're like, hey, Barcia seems like an animal. And you're like, well, he's helping out Welton. He's actually giving him money or parts or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really, for me, being in the spotlight doesn't really affect me and how I help people or things I do. It's cool that when people see what you do and help people out, but at the end of the day, it's they don't see what you really do and what you try to do. And for me, when possible, to give back to the sport, because our sport's weird and it's it's pretty hit or miss. Obviously, it's and I've been at the best of the best to the worst of the worst, in racing, and I've kind of seen it all now. So I always try to help out as much as I can, no matter what. And when I make friends, I try to keep them.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. All right, I don't really want to put this guy on the air, but we may as well. Tomo, what's up, Tomo? How are you?
Oh, excellent. How you going, James?
Holy crap!
All the way from Australia, some airplane mechanic.
What are you doing?
Don't laugh, Justin. I could probably work on one of your private jets in the future. Good.
Oh man, we just gotta start winning races, and we could get the jet, man, and get it rolling.
I know Steve's going to touch on where you're going next year. Or he probably knows, but he can't say. But so I won't ask the question. But will you be wearing Alpine stars next year?
Oh, come on, Tomo. What do you want him to say?
This sucker.
He would ask that question.
He would.
Yeah. I'm not gonna dodge the. I'm not gonna dodge it, but I'll be having some Alpine Stars on me for sure.
All right.
Negotiations, I like it. Hey, just a thing. You you massively invested in your house and that. 3 to 4 years maybe of time. Are you going to say let's do a schooling or still keep in the industry, or are you going to just sort of hang around in the background a bit?
Yeah. What are you going to do when you retire, Bam Bam?
It's actually. I don't know. I don't believe you. You never know what's going to really happen. But I own my track, and I would like to do something with that. And there's something there. I've built that place into a pretty cool pad. Unfortunately, I don't get to stay there as much as I would like to nowadays. But yeah, I'd like to. Like I said, I like to help people out, and I like teaching kids. So I definitely would like to give back to the sport with making a little money is not a bad thing either when you retire. So that could be something cool. And obviously I like flying. I haven't flown in a long time, but I'd like to get back into flying. The wife wants to live in the UK, so I'll probably have to, spend some time. We'll spend some time there. I like the UK. When it gets cold, I'll probably head back to Florida. But all in all, I think after racing, we'll have a busy time for sure. It's probably not going to slow down.
A lot of us think you might do a season in MXGP before you call it a day.
I don't. Never say never.
Right. Right.
I bet RV would have never thought he would have raced MXGP, and then he ended up doing some. So I don't. I want to definitely finish out my career here in the U.S. I feel like I have quite a few more good years left in me. I definitely want to get some championships. That's the goal, and we'll see if we can do it in the next few years. Even this year outdoors, there's a good shot at it. So I think MXGP would be fun, but probably not anytime soon.
Tomo, anything else?
Just that second moto, that was unreal. Even watching it on TV, awesome to watch. You can hear your bike valve bouncing in the background sometimes too.
Yeah. How about the pass? How about the pass on AC that he doesn't even really remember what happened, but it was everybody was like, "Oh my God!"
Caught the leg midair as well on the whip on that tabletop. It was beautiful. Hey, so that's nice little segue into this next question there, Matt, as you're a professional. I like it. Hey, when you're in a battle like that with someone obviously at your level, does technique go out the window?
I mean, for sure. I don't even know what's going on when we're it's pretty much just you have to hit your marks. You're shifting. You're I don't know. You forget all that though for sure. You're just see fire and you just hit your marks and send it as hard as you can. Like I said, when I don't really remember that scrub whip thing, it was it was so in the moment, and I just was wanting to go as fast as I could forward, and I just sent that thing. The leg probably slipped off, but it looked sick. In the moment, it didn't feel out of control, but people were like, "Wow, you probably almost died," and yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And AC's like, "Shit, I'm gonna be on a poster." Damn it.
Damn it.
So,
all right. Hey, I'll let you go, mate.
Thanks, Tomo. All right.
See you, mate.
No worries. Catch you later.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Can't believe we let that guy on the air. It's amazing.
What a guy. He's a guy, man.
He is a guy.
He's the guy.
He's always making fun of United, though, for me. He makes too much fun of United for me because that's my airline of choice.
Yeah, well, it is rough.
Oh, stop it.
Barcia's a Delta dude, man.
I know.
Everybody
they're all
knows
Delta.
that.
They're all Delta
all
down
those
there.
Florida guys are Delta.
Delta sucks.
They all fly through Atlanta, so they have to be.
I know.
Man. Delta's what's up.
All right. Hey, Daniel, what's your question for Justin Barcia?
Hey, guys. Justin, my question for you, there's been a lot of stages of Justin Barcia across your career, and like Steve said, you've done a lot of maturing over these last few years. If you look back across your whole career, what's the biggest one piece of advice that you would give to up-and-coming amateurs getting into the sport now?
Ooh, that is a good and tough question. Most advice, I would say, just enjoy the moment, man. I don't know, for me, time flies by. I can remember being 16 years old and going pro, and now I'm 28 years old, and not going to be racing for a lot more years. So, for me, I would just say, just enjoy, where you're at and like the amateur stuff. Like I had so much fun racing amateurs, and like I just think if you can enjoy like every moment of racing and with your family and stuff, you should do it because the time goes by fast, and that's just life in general, I think.
Yeah. All right, Daniel. Thanks for the call.
Awesome. Thanks, and good luck on the rest of the season, Justin.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next question, Blake. What's your question for Justin Barcia?
Hey, Justin. How's it going?
Good.
You've had a great career, and you're really aggressive throughout your career. But I have a question. Just being a local rider here, I've had my fair share of accidental takeouts. I've gone over and talked to the people afterwards. I'm sorry. To what extent have you actually, felt bad and gone and, bought dinner or something for them?
Never.
I would have never kill, destroy. No, I definitely there's moments like, that was stupid. Like, a few people at the races, I'm sure saw like. So me and Zach were racing pretty hard the first moto, and it was like last lap. And Zach's a pretty tough guy. Like he won't back off. And so we came down the hill, and I had like a wheel, at least I thought, and he probably thought he had a wheel. And our lines came together, and I thought like he hit me pretty hard. So I was pretty mad. So I brake checked him like right after and stood him up, and like a whole bunch of people were like, "Why'd you do that?" And like I did kind of feel like it was a little stupid because I probably lost like a second in the heat of the moment, and I was like, after the race, I looked at him and I was like, "I'm gonna kill you." And then we're on the line the second moto, and I woke up to him. He looks up at me, kind of puts a smile on, and he's like, "Yeah, I know." And he's like, we were just both like, and I was like, "You probably should have backed out." And he's like, and he kind of giggled, and I was like, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't have either." So we're
exactly.
Things like that. We can kind of. It's kind of cool now because before I would have held a grudge for the rest of the year, and we probably would have smashed each other, and it would have ended bad. And now, like at our age, like most of us in the 450 class, we can kind of laugh things off, at least for the most part. So but I look back at some stuff, and I'm like, that probably was not good.
Thanks for the call, man. Thank you, Blake.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. The Anaheim one with AC. Like I remember we had Adam on the show shortly after that, and he was like, "Dude, maybe he's changed. He could have knocked me over there." Like you cut the corner.
For sure.
Yeah, like
that would have been bad. That one would have been
bad.
Oh, I know, but
that was kind of like when Dungy accidentally like T-boned Stu and knocked him out like that, or if it was accident, we don't know. That would have been like one of those.
Yeah, it would have been around the same line, right?
Yeah.
Around the same thing. Yeah.
Not good.
It's funny that you say that though. Like in the 450 class, like we've all kind of gotten to that point to where like you run into each other and then you're really mad. Like if you came over to my rig after you ran into me,
definitely,
I would probably lose my mind. But if you wait till I see you on the line for the next moto, it's probably going to be like, that was a good one, Yeah,
it's usually better to like throw your mechanic on the back and run off and then wait and cool down, because in the moment it's like never good, and it just never goes the way it should. It usually ends in like fighting and
I have like a 5-minute rule. Like after a moto or after something,
smart.
It's like nobody talk to me. I just need 5 minutes for my heart rate to drop, my anger to go away, because I tend to get like kind of hostile when I ride, especially if people are really annoying. And it's like if I come off the track, someone could ask me a pretty simple question, and I'll just be like, I'll give them the most like asshole answer, and I'm just like,
just give me some time.
Just give me 5 minutes, and then we'll actually make progress.
It could even be like a team manager or anything. It's like, let's just not do this the 5 minutes after.
Right.
Totally.
Exactly. You're totally right. Justin, you've been a veteran of the sport for a while now. What bugs you about our sport, though? What kind of bugs you? And don't say me, outside of me.
Actually, I could say I'll work you into this.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please do. Please do.
You know what really bugs me about this sport the most, and I think any rider would agree with this, and it's probably, I don't think we even ever talked about this really, but like if you watch Formula One, and the perfect thing is like Ferrari, for instance. I think the other day the team manager goes, we're probably not going to win for 2 years.
Yep.
Wow. You just came out and said you're not going to win for 2 years. Imagine if a team came out and said something like, yeah, tonight, it was us. The bike didn't work and it wasn't the rider. I think our sport hides, that's why I think Formula One is so awesome. They come out with everything. They say, oh, we're getting rid of this guy and we're getting a new guy next year, the year before. They just report, and that's why they have so many people who watch it and are so into it. And I think if our sport could somehow figure that out, it would be way better. And then I do think the media can't say that much either, because they do a lot of testing and things like that with the bike shootouts, and I think they're very cautious about the things that they say. So I'll leave that there.
No, yeah, that's fine. No, that's why I asked you. I agree. But even if you flip it to our sport, I don't know how much you follow road racing, and I don't follow it a lot. But certain tire brands won't work on a certain track, and a racer will come out and be like, look, our Dunlops aren't as good as the Michelins here because of the speed and the heat or whatever. And everybody goes, okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus, Justin, if you came out and said,
no,
my front tire didn't work today, they would freak out. You'd
be blackmailed.
It's incredible. I wrote, when Bridgestone left the sport, I wrote about how great the front tires at Bridgestones were and how much the guys loved them. And I almost got in a fucking fight with Glover. He was so mad at me, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? The tires worked really good. So, I know Cowie was upset at Racer X. Eli dropped his bike at Loretta Lynn's too. We all saw it on TV. Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Cowie was upset that we put it in a column in Racer X. And I'm just like, hold on. It was on TV, and he did it. Why are you mad? Why? This is the stuff, our sport is weird that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our sport is quite small compared to other sports, and it's just I don't know. They want to sugarcoat it, maybe you could say, and I don't know if it's always been like this. You could maybe elaborate a little bit more on that, but I just think it would be really cool if it was able to open up a bit more and show more personality, and teams were able to talk more, and you're able to talk more about things, because sometimes we us riders and media have to hide things, and that's what that bums me out sometimes.
No,
but all in all,
listen, I don't report on everything. We've talked about your silly season stuff, the last few weeks and everything else, and kind of what we think and what we hear, and we do a lot of that with a lot of riders and everything else. But there is things that I don't say because it's just not worth dealing with this person that's going to get so pissed off or whatever. You're just fuck, you know what I mean? And I'm the guy in the media that is more honest than most. You know what I mean? Justin has a point.
For sure.
There are media guys that just want to be buddies.
Yeah.
They just want to be friends with everybody. And that's not the way to really report on a sport. And Justin, I can't, I was a mechanic for many years too. I never once heard a team say, well, our bike wasn't very good. I never heard that. I didn't hear that from anybody. And we had a KTM with no linkage. And when the guy said, listen, I can't go through a whoop section, I'll die. None of the KTM guys would ever say anything, and I'm just like, okay, well, these guys all, every single guy can't go through the whoops right here, So you're right, Justin. There's a point of stuff that, the teams can be, could be more open than what they are, 100%.
Well, what I think is one of the main problems with that is, I totally agree. I think everyone should be more open. Today I saw a picture of JS7 throwing his helmet on the ground from 2009 Anaheim 1 or something. That kind of raw emotion, I think, needs to be shown more because it's cool to see. But at the same time, like Justin was talking about Ferrari saying they're not going to win for 2 years. The difference between us saying that and them saying that, you can't go buy the Ferrari Formula One car. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yes.
Where a consumer can go out and buy
a Yamaha.
90% of what Justin Barcia is racing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And they want that product sold because they believe it's good enough to buy.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You're right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, hey, Bam, thanks for coming on. Thanks for the conversation. As always, fun time to talk to you. And fuck, that was a good race, man. Keep that up.
That was so
awesome.
Sick, dude.
That was sick. Yeah,
that was so cool.
That was awesome. So
thanks, guys. And like I said, I really hope and I do believe that there'll be more racing like that to come. I think Red Bud's a great track. It's very open. Should be great battles.
You're really good at Red Bud, aren't you?
I've had some good races there. Yeah, my highlight of my whole career, to be honest, like one of my favorite races, I beat Dungey heads up there. So on my JGR Yamaha days. So yeah, I have some great memories from there. And tonight was awesome. Great talk. I think we nailed some good stuff. So thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and see you guys soon.
No worries, man. Thanks for coming on. See you this weekend.
No problem.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. That's Justin Barcia, everybody. Monster Energy Yamaha rider, brought to you by Vortex Racing.
Great dude.